Um, so I had the opportunity to speak with a guy um a few days ago um via social media, and he was an older guy actually, and he he commented under a godly post cursing God and blaming God for all that he had endured as a child. And it was so crazy because, oh, Holy Spirit. It was so crazy because, whoa, y'all. I'm sorry, you gotta bear with me. It was so crazy because what he had experienced as a child was a lot similar to my childhood. And I'm not trying to bash anybody in my life um, about what happened. Because knowing who I am now and the molding and shaping my entire life that I had to endure and go through to be who I am and what I am today, I feel like a victor and not a victim. But the guy was much older than me, and had a wife, had kids, was a businessman. And this is just from what I was able to observe and stuff, you know. I'm not exactly sure what other things he had going on in his life, but um, he cursed God and was blaming God for all of the heartache and pain that he had endured in his life. And one of the greatest questions that people ask who do curse God is, if God is supposed to be this loving God, why would he allow me to have went through what I went through, and why does he allow all of the evilness to go on in this world, and why did he let that happen to me? And the first thing that I could do before I even answer the question was just literally feel his pain, because I'm like, wow, to be so stuck on an area of your life mentally that you have grew physically from has to be the most saddest thing in life, because your age and your body is moving and yet your mind is at a standstill. You know, your mind is detained. The fact that God has been blessing and been blessing, and yet the blessings don't seem like blessings because you're too angry at God to be able to count his good. So you count the wrong, and it's almost like somebody hitting you, and instead of you literally uh holding that person accountable, you go to a person that has never hit you a day in your life, and you blame that person. And it's just so sad because it's like you're spiritually blind to what is really going on. And so I literally had to tell him, like, God is a God of his word and of his law. He cannot lie. When Satan and his crew, which was a third of the angels who decided to follow him and rebel against God in heaven, when they got in trouble, God didn't kill them. Because that's not the nature that God is. That's not the character that he just banished them. Because he's the God of love, he banished them in a whole nother other area, right? It's the same thing with us humans. We have a death date not because of what God did, but because we humans did. And God literally took it upon himself to come up with a plan B to save us. God is a God of love. If you can recognize evil, you gotta be able to recognize the good. There's no way that you're gonna tell me that you see evil, you feel evil, and yet you don't feel God love. Parents that have been abused as a child have the possibility of not abusing their own children when they become parents. And it's because it's a choice. Everybody has a choice. Everybody has a choice. And I'm so tired of humans blaming God for what other humans do, as if it was God's decision to say, listen. Because see, here's the thing. We'll want, and I'm speaking on the lines of those who feel this way about God. You will want God to control the people that are out here doing evil, but yet you don't want God to control you. I mean, think about it for a second. We are not robots. God didn't create us to control us. And so if you're going to sit up here and you're going to speak on the lines of God controlling these people who make the decision themselves to do evil and cause harm to other people, then you have to be subject. You gotta be okay with being controlled by God yourself. So things you don't want to do, such as blasphemy against God, things that you don't want to do, imagine him controlling you and stopping you and holding your free will against you, and then then you'll be able to understand why God is who he is and how he is. Please, I beg of you, stop blaming God for what fellow humans do with their free will. It ain't him. And the sooner you grasp that concept, the better you'll be able to heal. The sooner you grasp the concept that we are living amongst a spiritual world that literally is versus good versus evil, and you gotta understand that at the end of the day, a lot of this evilness going on is demonic. And as soon as you understand that, you'll be able to hold the right person accountable for all that is going on wrong out here. I am out of time. I love you. And as always, goodbye.